UNICEF warned government about fire hazards at schools. GTU negotiations continue. And Guyana gets assistance for oil industry. I am Narine Beaufort, and this is Uncut News. Do see what's happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. The UNICEF office in Guyana had warned about safety issues in school dormitories, with a review finding a long list of issues ranging from inadequate ventilation to structural defects and poor fire safety measures. UNICEF recommended a dorms rehab program and the establishment of a new standards for design and specification of dorms. However, 3 weeks ago, a fire in the Mardia school dorm claimed 20 lives, prompting the president to promise a commission of inquiry. But nothing was said about, revisiting these suggestions from UNICEF, just saying. The Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee meeting was cancelled for the 9th time this year due to lack of quorum, as government members continue to stay away. The PAC chairman is calling for the government's chief whip and the Minister of Public Works to resign from the PAC for being consistently absent. The PAC is examining the public accounts for the year 2019, and the slower they move means the longer they have to wait to get to the PPP spending, which they are trying to hide from the Guyanese people, according to the opposition members of the PAC. The opposition MPs are inundated with complaints about lack of accountability across various sectors, including public infrastructure and the health sector. The Saudi Fund for Development has signed 2 loan agreements worth $150 million with Ghana to fund the infrastructural development works for the housing sector project and the construction of the Wisma Bridge in Linden. The project aims to provide 2,500 housing units and build a 4-lane bridge to improve road network connectivity, transportation flow, and access to public facilities in the region. The PPP has asked the police to warn individuals that it is illegal to remove official electoral campaign materials after a councillor was caught repainting PPP symbols with that of APNU. The incident is part of a larger trend of campaign materials being removed in various communities, with those responsible being associated with one political party in particular. The Ghana Teachers Union has said that it would be meeting with teachers over the next 2 weeks to consider a number of proposals by the Education Ministry, including salaries, licensing of teachers, and a housing revolving fund. In a memorandum to union members dated the 3rd of June, the GTU said the two sides met on the 30th of May, and the government tabled a number of proposals on debunching scholarship, housing revolving fund, duty-free concessions, master teachers, station and hardline allowances, salary anomalies, clothing allowances, and insurance of teachers, licensing of teachers, clerical staff for schools, counselors, and monthly professional development sessions. No details of the proposals were provided in the circular, but the GTU said a number of those areas formed part of its multi-year proposal, which was submitted to the Ministry of Education in 2020 for the period of 2019 to 2023. However, exactly how much of an increase in salary they're looking for, they've yet to answer. Attention truck owners. Between potholes, bad drivers, and high fuel prices, you've got 99 problems to deal with. But with Powered Automotive, your engine ain't one. That's because they stock high-quality parts and spares you need at prices you can't beat. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them at telephone number 6970171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana. Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GTEats is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GTEats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today. Solana Wells, a single mother of 2, has been charged with fraud yet again. This time for allegedly conspiring to forge a Bank of Guyana check for 956,000 Guyana dollars. She was previously charged of 3 similar offenses and released on bail with conditions including reporting to the Criminal Investigations Department every Friday and not leaving the jurisdiction. Nonetheless, Wells has also been charged with embezzling over $3 million from a previous employer. Her latest case has been adjourned until June the 19th. Terry Cruz, a 25-year-old fuel distributor, is currently missing and presumed dead after his boat collided with another vessel on the Aruca River in Region 1. The Cruz's father was piloting the other boat and reported that his son was speeding when the collision occurred. His family is currently searching for him with the help of a diver. Rocky Mangrove was remanded to prison after denying possession of 6 pounds of cannabis for the purpose of trafficking. Kanu arrested him following the discovery of $1 million worth of cannabis in a boat at Charity Stelling in Region 2. Mangrove was the boat's lone occupant. He is expected back into court June the 26th. In other drug-related news, Surinamese national Virginan Narine was sentenced to 3 years in prison and fined $683,350 for possession of ecstasy and hashish. He was intercepted by Kanu during an operation in Berbice and found with 69 grams of ecstasy and 101 grams of hashish. Now for today's oil update. Authorities in Africa, India, and the UAE are helping Guyana strengthen its oil sector capabilities as the nation prepares for the award of contracts from its first bid round. The government is prioritizing accelerated capacity building and is recruiting people to send abroad to look at the marketing of its oil. Efforts are also underway to build the nation's technological capabilities to verify oil production matters pertaining to the Starbuck block.
Robbery season might be over, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home or business with Sheriff Security. Sheriff Security has well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, K9 services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest. Now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News, here's poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you fit it is what. On Friday I asked, what questions do you have for me, Narika?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Mr. Joseph asked, when will you start having reporters on the ground to expose the corruption going on? You know, that's a good question. Well, for now, all I can say is when we get some more money. Sorry to say it like that, but like I said before, it is expensive to be independent in Ghana. We actually had plans to expand since 2021, and things were looking up. But if you remember, a certain reporter with a lisp got his little itty-bitty feelings hurt, and now we've been getting financially persecuted left and right ever since. That is why we ask for the public's help as much as possible in putting this program together, because you have many people who are not afraid to use the powers of the state to enact personal vendettas. And I'll just leave it at that. Barefoot Wanderer says, please elaborate on your verbiage of supposedly pertaining to your question of the criminal's death. Why does it matter how the escaped criminal died? He said, would Guyanese taxpayers rather pay to feed and house him in prison? And you go a little bit further on, but, for the sake of not swearing, I won't say it. And honestly, I see where you're coming from. And I really think he should have been hanged years ago, in accordance with the laws of Ghana. And as a law-based society, I believe it is important that the state is transparent in all its dealings. All of them. But to me, everything the cops have said so far in relation to this just doesn't add up. The maths ain't mathsin'. It hasn't been mathsin' since this man escaped. And as a law-based society, I don't believe we should ever condone summary execution, if this is really the case. Now, Smalley was guilty as sin and just as foul. But our own police have shown us in the past of their own capacity for such brutality against the innocent, as well as the guilty. Well, I don't know, maybe they're telling us the truth and just reporting the news for all these years has just made me just plain cynical. But at this point, the circumstances around his death just sound suspicious, that's all I'm saying. And Narine Singh yelled in all caps, you do not want to show your so-called mass murder body, because he is your hero. Boy, take a chill pill, you degenerate. I've never shown a dead body on the show, and I've been pretty consistent about that since the start. It's called having standards. But if you really want to see a dead corpse, just go onto Facebook or search on Google. This is the news, you weirdo. And finally, Bantu King says, your subtle biases are starting to show big time, Nariko. Yeah, bro, as a journalist, I'm telling you, objectivity is a myth. And if anybody tells you differently, they're lying. And in fact, I never said I wasn't biased. I've been pretty clear about that from the start. Remember, I used to have a whole 2 minutes telling you about my biases every episode. In fact, I'm extremely biased. For the working class of Guyana, irrespective of race. This is why we support the Movement for Unity and Democracy. The PPP, the PNC, and the elitist class of Guyana have enough sycophants shilling their propaganda, and they ain't paying me to do so, so they ain't getting no love over here. Now for tonight's question. Government ministers have skipped the PAC meeting for the 9th time for the year. With that in mind, should parliamentarians who consistently shirk their governmental responsibilities be required to resign? Why or why not? I think they should, because if I skip out to work every day, I lose my job. But that's just me. I want to hear from you. So think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Nico Bolford saying good night, folks.